It's a conspiracy theory that claims that we're already dead, and the evidence comes from science. There are two things that are documented to happen when someone clinically dies. The first is that your entire life will flash before your eyes, and the second is that your brain keeps working 7 minutes after your body is gone. And we've literally recorded the brain still firing after death, actively creating memories. So for 7 minutes, we're in this dreamlike state where we're reliving our entire life. And according to this guy you may have heard of, Albert Einstein, time is relative. But what does that actually mean? This is suggesting that 7 minutes in the real world could feel like 100 years in the dream state. Kind of like when you fall asleep, you dream an entire movie, then wake up 5 minutes later. Now here's where it gets weird. Some people believe that we all died in 2012. That's when the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world. And remember, this is all just for fun, and this is just a conspiracy theory. This theory suggests that instead of an apocalypse, we collectively slipped into this 7-minute brain echo.
Bro, I got a conspiracy theory about The Weeknd, but I ain't gonna get too deep.
No, say it.
I think for a certain point in his career, they were giving him Michael Jackson songs that was not released or that was just written because he was the only nigga that can do it. I swear to God. Because if you hear some of these songs, gang, and compare it to Michael Jackson songs, the lyrics, the cadence, it's all the same. This shit crazy. But that's fire though.
Welcome back, Global Mafia, to your home for non-mainstream news, the latest theories, and the hidden knowledge that they don't want you to figure out. One person will never know everything, but as a collective, we're going to figure it all out. Today, we're going to assess the climate around the world and see what's really going on, present and history. Let's get to it.
More open investigation into the assassination attempt. What happened there? Because that's where Kent said that he was told to stop investigating.
Do you want it honestly done? Do you know who you put in charge of it if you want it? Truly, and I'm being very serious. If you want an honest investigation, put Israel in charge. Joe, if you want it done right, have them do it. That's all I'm saying. Just have them do it. Just have them do it. I would trust.
You think they should look at the Charlie Kirk assassination as well?
I would trust their conclusions. Have them do it. That would be my thought. Just a fun thought.
There's a lot of people that think it was a hoax and that it was a setup.
And if it was, I've said on my show, just tell us how you did it, because that's fun too. It's fun.
Going on in the news that you may
not with a bullet, y'all.
Number one, Venezuela just
nobody
got hit
is
by 2 back-to-back earthquakes, literally 1 minute apart. The first one was a 7.2 magnitude at about 14 miles underground, and the second was 7.5 magnitude about 10 miles underground. These are ranked as some of the worst earthquakes that have hit the country in a century, and it's caused a lot of damage to their infrastructure, their airport. They've had to shut down their metro system and everything. So hopefully people are safe out there. The second thing that's occurring is that Hawaii has been hit by massive waves literally going over top of even some of the beachfront properties out there. They're saying it's because the South Pacific swells have mixed with the seasonal king tides, but the swells are so much bigger, it's causing massive waves to hit the island. So again, hopefully people are safe out there. And now something a little more simple and homegrown, there's a virus that is spreading through tick bites called the Powassan virus. Now normally when your tick bites you, it takes about 24 hours for them to infect you with something. This particular virus only needs 15 minutes. So for those of you going camping and during the summer and whatnot, hiking and whatnot, definitely take the time to make sure you're wearing long sleeves, do a lot of check for tick bites and everything, because this particular virus can cause swelling in your brain or in your spine in the worst case scenario. So just keep those things in mind. Be safe out there, y'all. There's a lot going on in natural disasters and naturally. So y'all have a good night.
Now, I'm glad he brought that to our attention, because prayers to anybody who was affected by those 2 earthquakes that were devastating in Venezuela. Also, there was an earthquake in Cali and Roseville, 5.9. Is Mother Nature doing her thing and having her way as usual, or is it because of some intervention? Let me know how y'all feeling.
Building bunkers, people who were made at the top,
AI programming. Zuckerberg has taken a lot of Hawaii and building underground massive bunkers. And there's people building fucking rocket ships so that they can leave Earth for when that revolt could potentially happen. And there's so much fear, and especially when you talk to this two billionaires about this, because they're shooken up. Everyone loves to see a CEO fall, a billionaire's life collapse. Like that's the internet's the constant theme right now. Is like every week there's a new CEO that's like getting brought down because they want to see people collapse and be at their level. Because a lot of people are suffering and struggling. We all are, but there's a need for that equaling of the playing field. And when you get to CEOs and billionaires, like people do not give a fuck. Like they want them to see you go.
Look at that hot Luigi did.
Oh yeah.
A few people have mentioned the 2027 theory. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah.
It's this kind of same idea where basically when we reach ASI, which is artificial superintelligence, that's around 2027 is kind of the estimate. It could be a year after that. It could be a year before, but that's kind of the ballpark point. Basically, humans they've already, in a lot of ways, computers have surpassed us, but we're still needed as a necessity. But when we reach ASI, which in maybe your world, maybe it already does exist in some capacity or who knows, but the idea is when we reach that, we're basically become somewhat useless.
So he's got the login for the beta.
Yeah. He's got the beta ASI, and we're going to try to get our hands on it after this.
You know, I'm going to always be frank. I never heard of Oliver Tree until he unfortunately passed away. But that's strange because the topics that he was interested in, divulging into, and trying to expose and put on the forefront, we talk about every day, 175 episodes plus. So I'm not too sure how that happened, but seemed like a cool dude.
Out of Venezuela, and everybody was wondering what's happening. You remember when officials went missing? Now there's 2 earthquakes that just hit. Y'all remember when we posted this picture?
And the videos.
If y'all just believe that anything is possible, everybody will be together as a collective. Anything is possible.
If it's your first time to the channel, go ahead and hit that sub button. We make videos like this every day. Also hit that like button too. It's for entertainment purposes only. Remember that.
I never seen in America, that's what I'm saying. The homeless people in America live better lives than the motherfucking middle class in Russia. Have you it's unheard to see a beast, right? A person with the extra weight, a homeless person with the extra weight, anywhere in the world. It's unheard of.
They might be eating mermaids.
If you want to get into that, we can talk about that too, because that falls into a very dark side of fishing, personal commercial fishing. You know what I mean? And that is like a real thing. There are people who pay top dollar for things that we shouldn't be eating, things that aren't regulated, types of fish that are illegal to have. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't put that past anything.
And you might help the blind to see, and people with spinal cord injuries, that they can recover, where in the past, how close is that becoming a success?
Neuralink, we've implanted Neuralink in 3 patients so far who are quadriplegics, and it allows them to directly control their phone and computer just using their mind, just by thinking. It's like, so we call this product telepathy. So you control your computer and phone just by thinking, and it's possible to actually control the computer and phone faster than someone who has working hands. Then the next step would be to add a second Neuralink implant past the point where the neurons damaged, so that somebody can walk again, and so they can have full body functionality restored.
Me personally, I'm not going to partake in a Neuralink. I'm not mad at people not being able to have the ability to walk, gaining that back. How do y'all feel about it, or do you feel that it should be as the creator wanted it to be?
At liberty to tell you the source of, but I can tell you it is in fact a real clip. It's a clip of the rotting food inside of the Lineage warehouse in Los Angeles. And what's interesting is when I was there today, just on the outside looking around, I found a bag of Kirkland signature brand tilapia just on the ground in the sun. So I'm starting to wonder if this thing was filled with Costco food, and if there might be like products not being in stock at Costco for a while because they were in this warehouse. Anyways, here's the footage.
It's pallets.
The White House needs to come clean. What we know is there's a report saying that one person in America got this special new drug. It was a 79-year-old person who's very high profile, and this drug can only be given to someone under the compassionate use provision, meaning you do that if someone basically has a terminal illness. So we need to know, did Donald Trump get this special drug from Eli Lilly? And did he get it under that provision? And if he did, why is that the case?
Who is that? And how do you know all that information? And why do you want unrest? We don't need to know nothing. We won't find out. That's just what that is. The propaganda these days is serious.
The guy, go ahead and hit play. Let me know what you think.
I'd go to the moon in a second. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
So that was
Don Pettit, a NASA astronaut.
What is your take on that? I'm just curious.
The technology can't be destroyed. What's the purpose of that? We have been there. We have done that.
How do we know there's the shit up there that we don't need? Why aren't we going up there and getting helium-3? What really is the problem is the scientists are doing a very good job of explaining why we haven't been back to the moon. Somebody's going to go there, and somebody's going to claim it.
How much does it cost Saudi Arabia to produce 1 barrel of oil?
This is an excellent question. It is very small, very little. It's probably less than $2 to produce a barrel.
Random fun fact, in 1965, the CIA finally admitted during a conference that they used a specific type of gun to kill people without it being traceable. And the gun was called a heart attack gun. It used shellfish venom inside of a dart that dissolved in your body, so that way it killed you of natural causes, and then the evidence disappeared. So there was no proof that anything would otherwise happen. So that way your cause of death was named natural, and they got away with it for years and years and years. And people speculated that something like this was happening. But of course, the CIA would debunk it and make it seem like everybody's crazy, but the whole time they ain't crazy. They just early. But yeah, thank you for coming to our random ADHD fun facts. Bye.
If you gave me a choice between getting diabetes or becoming HIV positive, I would choose HIV every time. If you become HIV positive, as long as you get medical treatment, you live as long as everyone else. If you get diabetes, not only does it knock 15 years off your life, your chances of all sorts of catastrophic complications in your life are really high. It's the biggest single cause of blindness in Britain, preventable cause of blindness. It's a massive cause of leg amputation. More people get an extremity cut off in the US because of diabetes every year than because of being shot.
Now, we would normally on the surface level just think he was wild for saying that, right? But listening to him, he did have a few points there. How we feeling about that, Global Mafia? What's the deal?
I can't take this pain anymore. I need help. Please help me, man. Please help me, please.
Look at them, y'all. I don't even care.
Somebody help me, please.
I've seen it firsthand, y'all. I've seen it. I used to be in and out of hospitals.
You got this gentleman who went to the hospital because he's in pain. This gentleman right here got kidney stones. I don't know if y'all ever had kidney stones. I never had none, but I know that I had patients that it's very painful. Now, here's my thing about this. Is instead of seeing him suffer, why can't we go ahead and at least put him in the back? Maybe just, comfort him with some water, until he is seen a cool rag. I don't think it has to be to this extreme like this. You know what I mean? And on top of that, it's like it's very inconsiderate of an individual. You're using a machine. I think it's very ignorant for the individual to not even try to help. Have a good one.
Time. So what do those proposals do to the projection of when you'll run out of money? Are you going to be able to be solvent for longer?
Yeah, I do want to
clear up a misconception because, I think the PRC testified that we've got cash to last us a certain amount of time. Let me be very, 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 very clear. We are out of cash. We are out of cash. If we had to pay all of our bills today, we could not pay all of our bills today. We are out of cash. What we are doing right now is we're basically borrowing money from our retirement plans to fund current operations. I'm not particularly comfortable with that. I promise you our employees are not particularly comfortable
And neither
with that.
am I.
You all shouldn't be comfortable with that. None of us should be comfortable with that. To me, that's why we have to have this discussion of how we fix this broken business.
Somebody help me with this one. I'm confused. Doesn't the post office run on federal money, which is our tax money? So where is it being distributed to if it's not to them? All right.
An interesting interaction with a group of young men, boys, at Walmart today. One of the vehicles was broken down. 3 of them had their hoods up and jumper cables out trying to figure out what was wrong with the one vehicle that wouldn't start. So, I figure I'll stop and help because I might know more than they do. So I get out and check, and they've got the jumper cables hooked up properly, right? There's no clicking going on when they turn the key. So I ask, hey, can I get in your truck and see if I can figure something out? So I sit in the driver's seat and immediately notice that it is in drive. It's not going to start while it's in drive. He had the e-brake on, thankfully. So I put it in park and I say, hey, it should start now. And I didn't really have the heart to tell him, but I did anyway that, you forgot to put it in park. The main thing I want to get at here is sitting and talking to these young men or boys. They were dressed up like they were going to work on a farm or something, like Southern, I guess, like stereotypical, but they all acted a little odd, like feminine odd. Not gay, I guess, but odd, just feminine. They walked feminine, they talked feminine. Other than like the Morgan Wallen mustache and haircut, they had no masculine attributes to them whatsoever. And this isn't an insult, this is just an observation. What the fuck happened? Is it the BPAs that are in all of our clothing, in all of our food, in all of our drinking water that's poisoning these kids, that's making them have too much estrogen and making them develop that way? I really don't know. But it was not that way when I was younger, when I was 10 years younger, when I was their age. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Well, I mean, they could have been younger or raised around women. I don't know. But let me know if y'all had that experience. That's the end of this compilation. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. This is the Global Mafia. One person will never know everything, but as a collective, we're going to figure it all out. If you made it this far, put hidden history in the comments. Let me know who paying attention. And we're going to keep getting to this knowledge as a collective. We all in together. Remember that.